Hi, my name is Colin Winkus, and I'm going to talk about GMOs today. I would like to thank my lovely audience for taking time out of their day to watch this. Today for lunch, I had a burger and fries. What did you have? Would you know if your food had GMOs in it? Chances are it did. 80% of packaged food today has GMOs according to Consumer Reports article from October 2014. GMOs in Food Consumer Reports. So let's talk a little bit about GMOs. GMOs is short for genetically modified organism. And I'm talking about genetically modified food. I became interested in this studying agriculture in school and the future of feeding 9 billion people by the year 2050. As reported by David Rotman in his article, Climate Change Will Make It Increasingly Difficult to Feed the World, from December 2013 in MIT Technology Review. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about GMOs related to industry and their history and makeup and ongoing research. But first, let's talk about how it all started as we address the history of GMOs. Do you remember studying plants in school? Yes, it all started with monk Gregory Mendel and those pea plants that he was crossing in the 1860s. Farmers have been crossing all kinds of plants for decades to get new and improved plant types called hybrids. Scientists discovered DNA in 1935, and finally, by 1972, scientists learned how to cut and splice genes into DNA. However, it took years of experience to get the results. Experiments were expensive, and only huge companies could afford to complete this testing. In the 70s came the Green Revolution, where agriculture produced a lot more food because of using new farming methods like fertilizer, insecticides, and herbicides. The first GMO patent was approved in 1980, and by 1994, GMO tomatoes, ones that would not ripen as fast, had been sold in the grocery stores. People questioned the safety of GMOs during the 2000s and wanted better labeling through the FDA, and the Academy of Science said that research revealed no differences that would be implicated higher risk of human health from eating GE foods than from eating their non-GE counterparts. As reported in the article, Food and Labeling Consumer Associates with Health, Safety, and Environment reported in the winter 2016 Journal of Law, Medicine, and Ethics by Joanne Sachs and Neil Doran. The article went on to report that customers resisting GMO foods and noted customers would buy the foods labeled organic before they would buy the GMOs because they were worried about their safety. Next we will talk about genes are changed in genetically modified plants. Alex Rich and Tom Worrell are two British scientists reported in an article titled GMO Modified Foods Overview, January 2017. The GMOs are genetically modified food. Molecules and proteins are chemically changed to give the food more nutrients, a better appearance, or a longer shelf life. Meat and dairy products, as well as most produce grown in the U.S. GMO technology is to improve plant structure and plant resistant to bugs and herbicides and increase food production to feed more people. So what happens when a corn plant gets genetically modified? The DNA has a gene inside the nucleus of the cell. A different gene code from another source, plant, animal, virus, bacteria, whatever, is injected into the plant. The cell genes, so you can get better trait for the plant. Sound complicated? It is. Here's a visual to show the process of how it works. So the bacteria gets extracted in the DNA and cloning into the other one, and then it goes into a petri dish. And usually by that time they decide whether it's effective or not effective, and then they start plant breeding and they start production. Thirdly, we'll address new technology in GMO and research. David Rotman, the editor of MIT, describes Talon's research in his article I talked about before, Climate Change Will Make It Increasingly Difficult to Feed the World, December 2013. By 2050, there will be 9 billion people in the world to feed, so we will need to double our amount of food produced today. And according to this research, it says that increased climate will decrease our now production by 2 to 3%. Raman reported that it was TALENs, a technology that changes DNA throughout injecting a foreign gene that modifies amino acids instead, in the same way genetic reshaping technology called CRISPR is used. CRISPR is a technology that came from research bacteria that has been involved in viruses. A food research from University of Berkeley reported 2016 article, CRISPR is coming to agriculture and big impacts to food, farmers, and consumers and nature. CRISPR, like TALENs, changed the gene in the case of the RNA portion without inserting a foreign gene. Advantages for both technologies is that since they don't insert a foreign gene, they are less expensive and test quicker to market, probably more acceptable to consumers without the idea of having a foreign gene. There are new ways of improving organisms would not be able to use without the research that came from GMOs. Is this the answer to producing more food to avoid world hunger? Scientists are still working on this technology, and the big question is how to regulate it. So now let's review a little bit. Much confusion surrounds GMOs, their users, and the safety surrounding eating food that contains this technology. It's a controversial subject that impacts our food supply. So the next time you eat, think about your food source. Are you okay with GMO food? Will it be the answer to help feed the world in the future? And stay tuned for new research as it changes every day. Just Google GMOs in our food supply and it'll be enough for your reading over spring break. Thank you for watching my presentation.